Hi there. Welcome to another delightful discussions. There goes my alarm that it's 10 o'clock. I am Mariah Young, your hostess, the First Impressions Director with 48 Days Disc team. And I have a question for you. When you are sharing the disc, if you are a coach, a business leader, whatever reason you're doing that, when you are talking with your audience, your employees, your clients, how good are they at remembering their letter, their disc style? I'm going to be sharing someone with you that I am so excited about, and he is going to actually show us one of the amazing ways that they have started making the disc make sense and really stick for their clients. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Today, I am so excited that I get to share with you guys an author of a book that has really taken 48 days by storm. We have, in so many ways, begun using this method. So I won't go too much into that because I want Merrick to share this with you. But if you have not already read the book, The Chameleon, I highly recommend it. This is a very non-threatening, amazing fable way, allegorical fable, however you want to say that way, of knowing your disc. And I will say that I myself have found that people struggle with remembering their disc profile or what it means, or putting action or themselves behind the letter. But the birds have really, truly changed things. So today I get to bring to you the author of The Chameleon. He's the author of The Chameleon, co-author of Take Flight, and many other books. He is a sought-after speaker, goes and speaks with major Forbes 500 companies. He goes all over the world. Seriously, this is going to be an amazing interview. You are not going to want to miss. So make sure you grab yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and enjoy this conversation, because I tell you what, not only does Merrick have such amazing knowledge base about the disc personalities, but he's also just a really cool, fun guy. So you guys are going to love this interview. And without further ado, I bring to you Merrick Rosenberg. Yay. I wish we had some cheers there.
Thank you, Mariah. It's so good to be here. I love talking to a group of people who are already passionate about helping people learn and grow. So it's great that you are sharing your light with the world.
Thank you so much. So let's dig right in. I don't want to waste any time. Can you first share with us, I gave a little hint, but I feel like it's so much more, your passion for these birds. I love, even your voicemail says, I'm out teaching the birds, to people. So can you share with us what you do and maybe a little bit behind how you got going with that?
Sure. Well, I started Team Builders Plus, which was one of the first team building companies back in '91. And there were only about a half a dozen team building firms at that point. So we were paving the way in the team building world. And it didn't take long to realize, all right, personality conflicts are a lot of the issues that drive challenges of teams. And so I learned the disc styles in '94, and I taught them for many years. I mean, it was about 15 years. And I just started getting frustrated. I'd go back into a company 6 months later, a year later, and people were like, which one is the D again? Wait, what does the I stand for? I'm like, you're killing me. We spent a day together. And I wanted it to be more visual. And in almost a flash of insight, I had asked myself that question, like, how do we make them more tangible and just intuitive? And the four birds flew into my conscious awareness. And I think that just changed everything for me. And hopefully it's impacting a lot of people to just make disc easier, more sticky.
I love that. I love it. It definitely has for us. Can you share maybe a little bit too about, I love your story actually, and I don't want to give it away even in my question, how the birds kind of came about, because it's kind of a neat story.
Yeah, I was writing another book. I was writing a book about the styles, and it's about a third of the way through, and I was really happy with it, but it was hard. It was the first book I was writing, and I had asked myself that question, like how do we get the birds out there, or how do we get the styles out there? And then the birds like entered my mind, and I thought, this is it. And I immediately stopped writing that book that day, even though I put months into it. And the idea of taking flight just came to me, and it was just time to do it. And I shifted from a more explanation of the styles in a very logical and maybe theoretical way to just a fun way of teaching the styles through stories. And that led to taking flight. It led to forming Take Flight Learning, and just have built up that whole world, that ecosystem around the styles from there.
Wow, that's so cool. I love that. And can you actually share? I didn't actually prep you with this question, but I know you're going to be great with it. We could definitely have a long conversation. Can you share your disc profile? Can you share us what?
Sure. Yeah, look, if we're using letters, I'm the ID. If I use the birds, these were my little desktop birds. My primary style is the parrot. I'm a secondary eagle. So I would be the ID in the disc world, and I'm a parrot eagle, which I think I'm going to guess is probably similar to yours. Is that it?
Yes, exactly. I am a parrot eagle as well. 100%. I love it. Yeah, I think the birds really just make it come through in such a tangible way. You can just almost grab it. You can understand it. I love it. And so I've been sharing it a ton. I really love it so much. Merrick, you have some cool projects. So you have been working in this for quite some time. You guys have created all kinds of products and services around this. Can you share some of those with us, actually?
Yeah, so it of course starts with a profile. So we have our Taking Flight profile, which gives you a sense of which bird are you, and gives you your graph and your report, and it starts there. But I think part of the challenge is that just historically we haven't really been teaching people how to lead fun, engaging, interactive training programs. So if our mission is to share the birds with the world, we couldn't hoard that and just run our own training programs and lead sessions ourselves. So we created certifications where we certify people both in-house and consultants. And we have 7 different certifications where it's not just how do you interpret the assessment, it's PowerPoints, it's the training program itself, it's the activities, it's reminder guides and desktop birds and books. And we have all different programs around Chameleon leadership. How do you infuse the styles into being an effective leader, to innovation and sales, to conflict and coaching? Emotional intelligence is our newest assessment, and it's amazing. We have one for children, but it's really about incorporating the bird styles into this world of learning about ourselves and giving people the training programs so they don't have to create their own workbooks and handouts and activities. It's done. We teach people how to do it.
I love that. And you're so passionate about it. You've even created a movie. I am so excited about this.
We did. I thought when I thought, how do we really get this out there? I've written fables. What's the next medium to share the birds with the world? And to see the birds in action. I think that's the power of the styles. I mean, the birds themselves are so easy. You don't have to memorize them. You don't have to try to remember what is the D. If I tell you, here's an eagle, and I say, what are the traits of an eagle? You immediately know it. And if it's intuitive today, it'll be intuitive 5 years from now. And we wanted to take those 4 bird styles that are so simple and so intuitive and let people actually see them day to day. So we created a short film. It's about a half hour. It's called Bird Brains Inc., and it is coming out on May 23rd.
Yay. And I'm excited to share that we get to show you guys an exclusive trailer from this. So before I am going to show it to you guys. Make sure you guys are putting any questions that you have, any comments. We would love for you to say hello. I know that StreamYard actually does not show me that people are watching, so it is one of the weaknesses of it. But make sure you put in the comments any questions that you have, any comments, anything about this. And we're going to show you, I'm so excited, this trailer. I've already peeked at it,
Yeah,
guys.
we have not shared the trailer yet with anyone. So this is a world premiere of the Bird Brains Inc. trailer.
Exciting. All right. So here we go. Let's see if we can make this work. All right.
In a world where time flies, when disaster strikes,
There's been an avalanche on Mount Lemuria.
Oh my.
4 birds are called upon to save the day.
I have no doubt we can help.
Dax, the dominant eagle.
This is no time to sing them lullabies.
Callie, the conscientious owl.
We don't have a plan. We have one idea.
Sunny, the supportive dove.
We're not going to accomplish anything if we're all arguing.
Aiko, the influential parrot.
Are you ready? Oh, this is awesome.
United by destiny.
Let's go, everyone.
Will they use their strengths to take flight together?
I wanted to ask if you heard how the climbers are doing.
They're alive, breathing and everything.
Or will it all come crashing down?
This is not going to end well.
Experience the heartbreak, the triumph, the personality of Bird Brains Inc.
Yay. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
It was so fun to make. I mean, just working with puppets. I mean, they're you got to wrangle them.
Yes.
Especially the parrot puppet. He kept wandering off.
I believe it. I believe it. Oh my gosh. I feel like that is just taking your passion for what you guys are teaching to a whole new level. So how are people going to be able to watch this? I think we need to make sure we share that.
Well, in fact, if you want to see the world premiere, you can live stream it. If you go to takeflightlearning.com, we'll have a link for you there where you can actually register so you can watch the live stream of the world premiere on May 23rd. But, I think it's the idea that people are going to get to see the birds in action and be able to really use this in a training program. And the way that you really use it is, look, if people have taken DISC programs before, what a great way to reinforce the styles. We all know learning is not an event, it's a process. So you've got to reinforce it. And if people haven't been introduced to the styles, what an awesome way to introduce style to people who are new to this world. So you can both use it to reinforce it or introduce it. And it's a lot of fun. I think people are going to laugh. We've built some music into it. There's 2 new songs in the movie itself. So it's going to be fun.
That's so fun. I love it. Merrick, so we've talked about the products themselves, and we've talked through, and we'll definitely make sure that we're sharing how people can get in touch with you and work with you here at the end. I would love to know some of the things that you have seen as, trends with the DISC. You've been in this for a long time. You've been, you know it probably like the back of your hand at this point. Are there some things that you have seen that you would say really benefit people from knowing their personality style, their bird style?
I think one of the biggest themes, one of the biggest takeaways is that realization that we impose our style on others. And we don't realize how often we do that. And I think one of the challenges is that the way people have often taught DISC, it's very sterile. Let me teach you what the D is. Let me teach you what the I is. But when you can link the styles to behaviors they display all the time, if you're a leader, it's how do you delegate? How do you give feedback? How do you coach people? If you're a salesperson, how do you build relationships? How do you close the deal? The benefits of understanding style really come in, first of all, the sense of awareness that you have of your own style, the ability to read other people quickly, and then the ability to adapt to them on the spot. So it's when you get this, it changes relationships, and it allows you to consciously drive your career in a very intentional way so that you're doing what you love and what you're good at.
I think that's such a good point. In your first, I think, 2 chapters, you talk about the principle of treat others like you want to be treated, and how we've learned that growing up our whole lives, right? And it's not necessarily wrong, but instead I don't want to say it for you, but you have a principle that makes more sense for this.
Yeah, we're not invalidating the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. But if we bring it into modern English, treat people how you want to be treated. And that holds true for values such as honesty. Look, you want people to be honest with you, be honest with them. And caring and compassion and respect and integrity. Treat people how you want to be treated. But from a style perspective, the reality is that we impose our style on others. If I'm a manager and I'm giving feedback, I'm probably going to give feedback how I like it. But I mean, imagine you're the parrot and you give this enthusiastic, you're awesome, fantastic. And you just gave that feedback to an owl who's like, but did you like it? Because I didn't get any specifics. And we don't even realize that we're doing it. We treat people the way we like to be treated. So from a style perspective, it's flipping that around and treating others how they need to be treated.
I love that. One of my favorite chapters in the book, and I highly recommend it, guys. If you don't have this book, The Chameleon, I need to take Flight too. Actually, that's on my list. But this one was just so jam-packed, so I can only imagine the other as well, just being so good. But the fables really, really brought it home, and one of those is the creativity chapter. I talk with professionals all the time, and they don't feel like they're creative. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, first of all, I love hearing which fable is your favorite, because there's 22 fables and each teaches a different lesson of the styles. And I always figured, it would be like an album. There's always the one or two hits and everyone's going to say, yeah, those are the two, but there is zero consistency. I think everybody sees the fables through their own lens and what's important to them. And so for you, it's about creativity. And that particular fable talks about, we think of creativity. If I were to say to you, all right, which is the creative style? People might say the parrot, but honestly, that's just one form of creativity. Owls are also very creative. I mean, picture every building you see is designed by an architect who's probably an owl. What creativity and innovation they have. And so that fable really shows that each of us has a different form of creativity, and that we should be honoring that instead of thinking, yeah, creativity lies in the realm of a different style. Not mine. Wish I could do it, but what can I do? It really shows we're all creative. We're just creative in different ways. And I love that lesson to show people. Let's value each of our forms of creativity.
Yes. I can't tell you how many people I've had tell me that exact thing. I'm not creative. And I'm like, well, that's not true. In fact, in our world, we've stopped calling the C conscientious and we started calling it creative, because so many owls need that reminder that, yes, you are creative in so many ways.
Yeah, many innovators. If you look at a lot of inventors have a lot of owl. They have to be very meticulous and analytical. And yet we somehow think that's not the creative style, and that's not true at all. And I think that's one of the themes that is pervasive throughout the whole book, is that we should not just accept people because they're different. We should go beyond that. We should value people who are different because they add something to the world that maybe we don't have. And I love teaching that lesson, that we should appreciate and respect and value the fact that we're all different, and what a great thing that is.
Yes. And just because it comes easy to us doesn't mean it's not creative.
Yes. Yeah. And that's one of the lessons we talk about in the fables is, we often have these skills that are so simple to us. In fact, we don't think they're special because it's just easy. That's just what I do. Yeah. But other people can't do that. So not only should we be honoring the gifts that others have, we should also look at our own gifts and say, yeah, you know what? I have something that other people can't do as easily as I can. And just because it's easy, guess what? It's still a gift. And how awesome is that?
Yeah, I love it. Oh my gosh, so good. Obviously, you're right. All the fables are good. And I'm one of those people that when I'm listening, I'm like, oh, this is one of my favorites. And then I hear this one was one of my favorites. They're all so good. Merrick, can you share, as we start to wrap up, what is a really great way? You speak, you have books, you've got curriculum. I mean, I'm excited about that kids curriculum for sure. All of it's so good. I'm like, I can't pick a favorite. Can you share how people can work with you? How can they get in contact? What is the best way for that?
Sure. TakeFlightLearning.com is a great place to reach out and explore all the different training programs that we offer. You can see the profiles and the products that we have. And we've really built a whole world around the styles. You can see all the certifications that we offer. It's a great place to start. The Chameleon's a great place to begin to just discover how the bird styles really bring the kind of classic disc styles to life in maybe a new way, in a kind of a reinvented way.
Oh, so good. If you were talking to someone who was younger, especially like a student or someone like that, is there like a one thing that you might want to share with them as it pertains to their bird style?
When I'm talking to college students and I'm talking to students, the one thing I always say is, everybody's going to say to you, find your passion, do what you love. And of course, we all agree with that statement, but I'm going to take it to a different place. If I'm talking to someone younger, here's what I would say. Find a job, a career, a path in which your personality gets to shine. Because when your personality shines, you go home every day energized. If you're in a role in which you're working out of your style, it's exhausting. So find a job, not just that you feel passionate about, but where you can shine, because it will feel easy, it will feel natural, and it will engage you, and you will love it.
Oh, so good. So good. All right. I know you guys probably have questions. And of course, I know a lot of our audience, you guys are going to catch this on the replay. So please make sure that you let us know that you are watching it on the replay. And if you have any questions for Merrick, I know there's so much information we can go to on the disc and the bird styles, so much. We've even discussed possibly doing maybe a lunch and learn, or maybe something else as well, because you really can go so far on all of this information. So make sure you reach out. Questions, I will have links. I've already got some in the description of the video. We'll add links for the movie, especially when that comes out. I'll be sharing that with everybody. Make sure you engage, and we will send those to Merrick. Merrick, as we're finishing up, thank you so much for being on here. I can't thank you enough. This was so good.
Oh,
Is there any last word before we go ahead and call it done that you would like to share with the audience?
I'll share one more tip with you. Use your strengths, but do not overuse your strengths. I think that a lot of times we use our strengths, but when we push them into the red zone, they sometimes work against us. So I'm going to challenge everybody to use your strengths, but use them at a healthy level.
Love that. Awesome. All right. Well, I hope you guys got some gold gems today. I sure did. And of course, go and engage with Merrick. They have so much information. It is amazing. You won't regret it. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next week. Bye.